When the gunmen came to Petite Rivière, a town in central Haiti, people had nowhere to run but the river. They swam through filth and fear. Another town fallen. Haiti's paramilitary gangs are aggressively expanding, armed with weapons of war, and unchecked by the international security force built with multi-millions of American money. Just a year ago, we reported from Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, documenting the stories of child soldiers forcibly recruited and of women victims of sexual violence as a weapon of war. Since then, the urban warlords commandeering even more territory, 90% of the capital. Where I stood then, in Port-au-Prince's symbolic center, the historic Champ de Mars, is now a front line. The capital now accessible only by helicopter from Cap-Haïtien in the north, one of Haiti's last safe cities, where we've come to report not just the toll, but the hope of Haitians fighting for survival.
You can feel it. The state is collapsing. Haitians are clinging to any corner of this country that hasn't been taken over by force.
Cap-Haïtien in Haiti's north may soon be the city of last resort if Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, falls. The Haitian government itself may be forced to seek safety here, a last bastion against the anarchy. Haiti's second-largest city has long been known for its centuries-old architecture and was once a center of tourism. It remains one of the last places in the country where the streets still echo with life, not gunfire. But the chaos is catching up to Cap-Haïtien. At the historic City Hall, we checked in with the city's mayor, Rose Pierre, the first woman elected to lead the city. She told us that nearly 400 new arrivals show up here each day seeking help.
Volume moun nou gen ap recevoir chaque jour yo, ville la pat fait pour ça.
All she and the city can offer them is relative safety and vigilance.
This was once Chadadou, a slum in the southern outskirts that gangs tried to infiltrate. The mayor ordered it torn down to keep Cap-Haïtien from becoming the next Port-au-Prince.
The mayor has kept the gangs at bay for now, but the city risks being overrun by those fleeing the violence.
If people come here from the south, the police will turn them away?
Non, m'pa ka repousser yo, parce que c'est haïtien yo. Quelles qu'en soient ces circonstances là, nous obligés à accommoder nous pour rester la caillou. Parce que pas gen côté yo ka aller encore.
Cap-Haïtien, a city that's never been meant to carry the burden it now bears, absorbing the newcomers from a capital in collapse. Families fleeing to this northern city because the gangs don't own it yet.
But those gangs are just 120 miles to the south and have closed all roads to safety.
People had been fleeing Port-au-Prince by the busload, but now direct routes to Cap-Haïtien are blocked. Gangs control the roads, shaking down drivers or turning them back at gunpoint. We spoke with a guy at the front desk at the bus station. He told us they haven't been offering service in or out of Port-au-Prince for weeks now.
Yet somehow, the displaced keep coming, bringing with them stories of horror. Most recently, thousands fled a massacre in Mirabelet, just about 35 miles northeast of Port-au-Prince. Paramilitaries attacked the town, burning homes, killing civilians, including 2 nuns, and ransacking the police station, also destroying the only modern hospital in the region. Engineer Mackinson Desjois would spend anxious days before learning his mother, Mircleed, and 17 other family members had escaped.
What was it that made you decide, okay, I need to leave Mirabelet?
Bandi pon zone nan, bandi occupé zone nan, vin sorti. En pile moun mouri, mwen paret mouri, mwen déplacé.
There was no time to take anything. They ran into the forest, 18 people from age 7 to 54.
You slept in the woods?
Oui, oui, oui. Nous fait 5 jours.
What was that like?
C'était vraiment grave. Ou pas manger, ou pas joindre de l'eau. Si moun yo a crié dans main pour manger pour de l'eau, ça pas facile. A venir, bon Dieu fait pas de get arrivé sous nous, nous te get retirer quoi nous. Nous venons sentir nous plus bien. Là nous retirer quoi nous, même là nous enragé mais et nous sentir nous à l'aise parce que côté bandit yo.
And if you stayed, they would have killed you think?
En pile moun mouri, moun yo jeune yo tiye yo. Moun yo jeune yo tiye yo boule yo boule kay yo bay. Si nous te rete yo te jeune yo te ka tuer nous tout.
Mirabelais, not the only massacre, as the gangs take control of the center of the country now too. The gangs, in effect, have dismantled the state. To see the lost territory is astonishing. The international airport, the seaport, major roads. And then there's the government. The pillars of the state collapsed. More than 50 buildings abandoned. The National Palace, a no-go zone. The Supreme Court, occupied by gangs. The French embassy closed. The U.S. embassy on the edge of being surrounded. Government officials and the elite are bunkered to the north of the city in Pétionville, the capital's upscale district and financial hub. It's also home to the Prime Minister's office, now surrounded north and south by gangs. It's not just the government targeted, all parts of civil society are gone. The National Theater, universities, hospitals, the National Psychiatric Center. Commerce attacked. The last major hotel, the Marriott, forced to close. The telecom centers, hubs to cell and internet service, surrounded. And then there is the press. The gangs don't just fight for territory, they fight to control the narrative, and it's the country's journalists who stand in the way.
In Haiti, reporting the truth can get you killed. Gangs torch newsrooms and hunt down journalists. The press badge offers no protection here. It's a target.
The heavily armed gangs have killed at least 12 journalists in the last 3 years to stop the press from letting the world know the terror here. In March, they attacked with guns and gasoline at least 3 TV and radio stations. In April, a gang took over a radio station outside the capital, broadcasting propaganda after renaming it Taliban FM. And then there was the Day of Terror on Christmas Eve in Port-au-Prince. Haitian journalists gathered to cover a symbol of hope, the reopening of Haiti's largest public hospital after it was destroyed by paramilitary gangs. But instead, the gangs, in an attempt to further destabilize the country, ambushed the journalists. Haitian reporter Valandi Miracle, 31 years old, would be shot and almost die trying to report. Seeing her in person was impossible. From Cap-Haïtien, we reached Miracle by video call. I began by asking about her attackers.
Do you think they knew that you were a journalist?
Oui, ils savaient que je suis un journaliste. C'est un enfant qui a à peu près de 10 ou 11 ans.
A 10-year-old? My word.
Oui.
A child soldier with a gun, a press badge in his sights. It's the new reality here.
How do you know that they knew you were a journalist?
Parce que j'étais identifié et j'étais gilet, marqué la presse.
2 journalists died on the hospital grounds that day. Among them, Miracle's colleague, Markendi Nathu, killed wearing his treasured press lanyard.
Mackenzie, pour moi, il était comme mon père et il m'a toujours donné du conseil.
Miracle says 7 bullets took her down, 1 to the head, 1 to the mouth, 5 in the left leg. She had to be flown to Cuba for surgery.
Quand j'étais à Cuba, je reçois un message qui m'avait dit que ma maison a été incendiée. Il y a quelqu'un qui m'avait demandé des rançons et je lui ai dit que je n'en ai pas. Et après quelques jours, ma maison a été incendiée.
Her 20-year-old brother was inside, killed in the fire. Journalists like Miracle navigate a no-wind terrain.
You're in Port-au-Prince right now. Do you feel safe?
Pas vraiment sécurité parce que j'ai perdu ma maison. J'ai toujours reçu des appels inconnus qui me menacent. Ma vie n'est pas bonne. Et je reçois des menaces qui me disent si je tourne dans cette domaine, je dois mourir.
So why do it?
Parce que je l'aime.
In Haiti, where that passion for the truth gets journalists killed, Miracle, even in doing this interview, continues to risk it all. With violence cutting off roads to the capital, we wondered, why weren't large cargo ships massing in Cap-Haïtien's Bay to rush aid to the south? We'd get our answer at the warehouse of the largest provider of food aid in Haiti.
In Haiti, where even a bag of flour can get you killed, the World Food Program has shifted its center of operations here, betting this northern city is still safe enough to keep the rice, the oil, the essentials moving.
Cap-Haïtien is now the main entrance to get food into the country.
Nelson Ulysse, WFP's logistics manager, shows us the stockpiles of food they're struggling to distribute.
Are you sending food down to the capital from here?
Yes, we send in food from the capital from here, but it's a very big challenge. We can't reach everyone.
You cannot reach everyone.
Cannot reach everyone, but we do our best.
With the gangs blocking the roads and attacking the capital's port, their best involves an unlikely method.
Small boat take foods from Cap-Haïtien port, go to Port-au-Prince. We use it a lot.
That must be getting expensive.
It is expensive.
We've come here to the port of Cap-Haïtien to get some shots of what's really going on here. Individual bags of food being loaded by workers, not onto big ships, but onto these small fishing boats. They're using this archaic method because it's the only way to get food and other supplies to people in the south.
Still, amidst that collapsing system, we would find just outside of town at a modern solar-powered factory a glimmer of hope. We suit up for the sterile environment inside, as if preparing for surgery. And indeed, here, Haitians are producing something that saves lives. A therapeutic peanut paste to bring children back from the brink of starvation.
What impresses me here is just how regimented they are about their procedures, because this is medicine.
This is where you add all of the vitamins and the micronutrients. Each bucket should have the exact quantity.
Remonson Tenor is the Chief Operating Officer for Meds and Food for Kids, or MFK.
Okay, watch out, watch out.
The therapeutic peanut paste they painstakingly produce here to strict global standards gives acutely malnourished children in Haiti the nutrients and calories they need to recover.
Is demand rising?
Yes.
Significantly?
Yes.
We see the risk at a crowded clinic Tenor takes us to, where mothers line up with babies in their arms. More than 1 million children in Haiti now face life-threatening malnutrition. That's 1 in 4 trapped by violence, starvation, and a collapsing system that can't reach them. On this day, one mother watches as her baby is measured, showing the initial signs of starvation. But she got here in time, and will go home with the therapeutic paste made just a few miles from here.
She will benefit from receiving the treatment.
It appeared to me by looking into her eyes that she was nervous.
It's always a disappointment if someone come and bring you bad news. But at the same time, I think what I see also is that hope in her eyes, because she knows that there's a place that she can go to get the nutrients that she needs for her child. If she continues to take the treatment as per the instructions, in 4 to 8 weeks, her child will get back to normal.
The paste stays shelf-stable for 2 years without refrigeration, critical in a country where the state electric company has collapsed and few have power.
We have night and day shifts making sure that we build stocks for the malnourished children.
This is the final stage of an intricate production process. Now it gets boxed up and it's being sent to places like Port-au-Prince, where the need is really dire right now. Getting it there, that's a whole nother matter.
The road from this factory to a child in need isn't straight. Trucks must pass through territory controlled by gangs.
Why would the gangs stop a truck that's full of medicine for children?
I don't know. We don't know. We don't have any contacts with anyone. So we can't say, hey, you know what? We are bringing medicine, please let us through.
Right now, you can't take the road.
There's barricades. So that's why we use that barge from the port in Cap-Haïtien that will go all the way down.
Contributing to the collapse, cuts in U.S. international aid. The shock of those American cuts reinforcing how much is at stake here for Haiti's future.
Haitian should lead Haiti. We have a staff that is 100% Haitian that is running this organization.
It's a deeply personal mission for Tenor.
I could decide, like a lot of my peers, they're leaving the country, but I understand that I have to play my part. I have two beautiful daughters, and I want to be able to say to them, this is what I did for my country.
The mountains of northern Haiti, a 7-hour drive from the urban hellscape of Haiti's gang-infested capital. Here, these orphans evacuated from the violence of Port-au-Prince are now safe in a place of peace, but with little else.
They were used to the city, so they were not so happy. And we didn't have water until we make the well.
Didi Ananda, a 61-year-old nun, made the heart-wrenching decision to move the 33 children under her care here before it was too late. She had to uproot a life's work. Decades earlier, she came to Haiti from the Canary Islands, Spain. Didi, sister in Sanskrit, founded a children's home in Port-au-Prince. At its heart, music. Every child learning to play an instrument. Her program is rooted in a yoga-based spiritual movement from India. But then came July 2023. Gangs began sweeping through Port-au-Prince, launching daily attacks. Block by block, they advanced until the gunfire reached Didi and the children's door.
It was becoming so difficult and so impossible that the children will not go to any activity outside. We had to keep them at home.
She knew she couldn't wait any longer. They became part of the more than 1 million Haitians displaced, running from the terror of the paramilitary forces overrunning Haiti's capital. She packed up her children and left the city behind, carrying with her a belief. Even in chaos, children deserve harmony.
I didn't want that the children had to go through any traumatic experience, so I had to act. At one moment, say, let's move. And here we are, and I don't regret.
You couldn't take everything.
Yeah, no. Priority was the instruments.
The instruments.
This car was used to put one piano.
A piano and other instruments, because music, Didi believes, isn't just an activity, it's a lifeline. A way to restore structure, rhythm, and joy, even when the world around them falls apart.
For them, music has been really healing thing.
Beside her sits Lolita, now 17, who came into Didi's care as an infant, left behind by her mother.
She played the violin, she played the viola, the trumpet, all the instruments.
As Lolita plays, her face is calm. But her memories aren't. I asked her about the escape from Port-au-Prince.
How did you feel about that?
M'dawal quitter Kaisa, c'est ça que me bat trop sentir à l'aise. Kaila me bat trop content, après ça me vient adapter ensemble avec Kaila. Me vient remel. Moi je Kaila te gitonnel, te bon pied bois, vent, fraîcheur, tout bagaille. C'est ça que me vient remel la kounya.
Do you worry about your friends who are still there?
Oui, il y a une là qui était dans l'école là qui fouillait tout. Aux amis.
What happened?
Maladie.
She says it plainly. No drama, no tears. The fact of a friend of her age dying. A testament to what's happening in a city where sickness turns deadly as gangs burn down hospitals and gunfire blocks all roads to help.
Are there a lot of other orphanages that are leaving Port-au-Prince right now because it's so dangerous?
I think they have terrible time because they have waited until the situation was really impossible and are crying that they should have gone away.
You're a wonderful musician. I love listening to your music. Sounds like music is important to you.
Oui, un peu.
In this new life, music isn't just a passion, it's peace.
What do you feel when you're playing music?
Les mêmes jeux musique, je me sens à l'aise, je suis content. Même jeux musique.
And hopefully safe. In a country where paramilitary gangs are waging war on childhood.